Be careful what you call small. That small job, that small instruction, that small platform, that small person, that small correction. Because that very thing you call small might be that very thing that God actually wants to use to change your destiny. But because of it looks small, you don't take it very seriously. And I'm going to explain it from, a biblical standpoint in 3 different ways. Now let's go to 1 Kings 17, where I see that God sent Elijah to Zarephath. And when he went to Zarephath, he met a widow. The first thing he told the widow was to bring him, a cup of water. And whilst he said that, he now said, also bring me a morsel of bread. And she now said, as the Lord lives, I only have a little oil and a little tin of flour, so she can make food for her son and die. You understand? But in that same place, she obeyed. As much as he had something small, she obeyed. And it was said that nothing, the tin of flour never ran dry, and the oil never even went down. You understand? And in that same setting, you will still notice that her son went sick and the son ended up dying. But if not because of that obedience, God through Elijah would have not been able to heal the son back to life. You understand? Now let's go to where you see that Jesus came to Peter and told him, lend me your boat. You understand? If you notice, when Peter now gave Jesus the boat, after some time, he now told Peter, launch into the deep. And when he launched into the deep, the net started breaking because of the amount of fish. If Peter had not obeyed at that point in time, because he just believed, how would this person be asking me for a boat? You understand? He said, lend me your boat, if not because of obedience. Now let's go to John 4, verse 5 to 30, where you see that Jesus actually met the Samaritan woman. And when he met the Samaritan woman, he told her, please give me, water. And when all these things happened, you understand, Jesus started revealing her secret, started revealing her identity. You understand? And because of that, she ran into the city and started telling people, come and see a man that revealed all my identities to him. You understand? And in that same point in time, God started using her as an evangelist. Because if she had taken that thing for him, if she had taken Jesus for a mere man, God would have not used that for a greater purpose. You understand? And that is the same thing with most of us. So a little obedience, a little work of faith might look like, this thing cannot actually germinate anything. But that's why if you read in the Bible very well, it says a grain of mustard seed. I don't know if you guys have seen a grain of mustard seed. When it's put into the ground and when it germinates, it is very big. You understand? Because God works in seed forms. You understand? It is through those seed forms God now uses to germinate greater destinies. You understand? That's why you need to be able to pray for the spirit of discernment properly, so you don't make mistakes and thereby call greater things small, because at that point in time it looks very small. So pray for discernment and be able to actually know what is small and what is actually not even good for you.